Welcome back everyone, and right now we are ready to start coding our SSH connect function. In the previous video we coded all of this, so this is just the base part of the program where we ask for some important information, then we check whether that information is correct, and then we continue with the actual brute forcing. Right now we're going to code the SSH connect function, and let's do it at the beginning of the program. We're going to define it first, define SSH_connect. And this function will actually take two parameters. One of them is going to be the password, which we specified right here, and the other one we're going to actually declare right here in the brackets, and we're going to call it code to be equal to 0. What this means when you simply specify code to be equal to 0 is, in case we don't really specify anything as a second parameter right here in this line, that means that this code parameter will automatically be set to 0. Alright? And we want it like that. So let's add two dots right here and start coding the part of the function. First of all, we need to create a variable which is going to be called SSH, and that variable will be equal to paramico.sshClient. So we're going to use this SSHClient function in order to declare this variable, and then we're going to use this variable to set missing host key policy. So this is a long function, as you can see. You can simply just tab it to autocomplete it once the PyCharm outputs it as a possible function to use. So we're going to type SSH set missing host key policy, and right here we need to specify paramico.autoadd policy, and this is also function. So this is just some basic two lines that we need to set before we try to connect to the SSH client. And right after it comes the connect part, which we will try with the try and except statement. Similar thing that we did with our port scanner, we're going to do right here. We're going to try to connect inside of this try statement, and in the except statement we're going to print that the password was incorrect. Alright, so right here in the try statement we're going to type ssh.connect. We're going to connect onto the host, and keep in mind that the host is this variable right here which stores the IP address that the user specifies. We want to connect over the port 22 because the port 22 is a regular port for the SSH. We want to set the username to be equal to username, which once again is this variable right here. And we want to set the last thing, which is going to be the password, to be equal to password, which we pasted right here as a parameter. So it is going to get stored from here to here. Alright, so this connect function that comes with the Paramico library has four parameters: the IP address, the port number, the username, and the password. And this is all that we're going to do right here in the try statement. In the except statement we're going to check for an error which is going to be called Paramico authentication exception, which simply just stands for if the password was incorrect, we're going to perform this part of the code. So if the authentication didn't manage to go through, that means we specified the incorrect password, and therefore we're going to set the code parameter, which remember is the second parameter to our function, to be equal to 1. And in the last case, which is going to be another except statement, we're going to set right here except socket error as E. We're going to set the code to be equal to 2. And before I explain this try and except once again, let me just type here ssh.close once we finish everything, and we want to return the code from this function. So let's go through it once again. We declare the SSH client, we add the auto add policy. These are two standard lines before we try to connect. Then we try to connect to the target. If we manage to connect with the password, then this second parameter, which is code, will remain 0. If we specify wrong password, the code will be changed to 1. And if there is any error during the connection, for example, we cannot connect to the target because it is offline, then the code will be 2. Therefore, once we return the code and we check it, then we will know which password is correct and which password isn't correct. Alright, so we're going to finish that in the next tutorial. For now on, we got our function ready. And before I finish off this lecture, I will just add right here that the response is going to be equal to SSH connect with the password. The reason for that is, since we are returning the code from our function, we want to store the result inside of a response variable. Therefore, this response variable will contain the value of the code, whether it is 0, 1 or 2. Alright, so simple as that, and let's continue in the next tutorial. Hope I see you there, and take care. Bye.